Hello, my name is Naomi and I'm one of the leaders of the Red Letter Christians UK movement. You may or may not have seen that this year we have launched a campaign which aims to release vulnerable asylum seekers and migrants from debt, whilst also highlighting the injustice of the policies that cause it. It's my pleasure to share this short reflection with you and also explain a little bit more about our campaign. Often, when computer programmers are testing code for errors, they will introduce a challenge to the system which allows them to find and fix the bugs. The pandemic has challenged our system, and it's revealed a number of things. The first is that there is a system. Whether we like it or not, we each share a piece of each other's reality, and there is a link between all of us. After all, this is how the virus has spread. But it's also revealed that that system, that web of connectivity, is faulty. In many circumstances, it would be better described as proximity rather than true connection. People can exist in close enough quarters to be at risk of transmission, but still not feel loved, valued, or understood. When we talk of community transmission, we really mean it in the loosest sense of the word: proximate people. Community is a calling, one that we can choose to live up to or choose to ignore. Throughout the lockdowns, we have seen thousands of people trying to live up to that calling. There were mutual aid groups established, church and school halls turned into food banks, and phone trees checking on vulnerable people. Unfortunately, we have also seen the side effects of those with an expectation that the system will always work for them, no matter what. But don't get that confused with people who do not trust that the system will ever work for them, because it never has before. I'm glad that we moved on quickly from the idea that the pandemic was some kind of leveller. As much as it's not been good for anyone, apart from maybe a few billionaires, there's a huge variation in how it's been experienced by all different people and the additional challenges that it has thrown up. For many, this year has been about meeting those most basic needs: where to find food, where to find shelter, and where to find connection. For others, this year may have challenged how you interact with and take care of your natural environment. Maybe how you are complicit in the structures of white supremacy, or how you should value the lives of those who are older or who have disabilities. This year may not have allowed you any time to think at all, and that is also completely okay. Personally, this year I have felt challenged on how we can turn proximity into connection and compassion. I've been struck by how easy it is to overlook the small things. When people talk about systematic change and injustice, it can feel like this comes in the form of huge legal battles, rooms full of important and powerful people, and David versus Goliath style giant slaying. And a lot of the time it does. It's important that we work to change the legal and institutional fabric of our society for the better. But so much of our lives also exists outside of those boxes, flowing between them and between each other. We are presented with thousands of opportunities every day to make a difference in the time and space that we inhabit as individuals. Often, it is those small and radical decisions that build up the collective voice and representation necessary to change the big stuff. Injustice assumes our cooperation. Even the smallest, slightest act of resistance can begin to destabilise it. This time of year felt like a particularly poignant one to introduce our campaign, as we reflect on a young woman facing the fears of rejection and destitution, giving birth under harsh circumstances away from her hometown and family. On this day, the Feast of the Innocents, We hold in the light those who share in the story of the Holy Family, having to flee for safety in a foreign land. We mourn for those who have lost their lives as a result of violent oppression. May we be resolved to bear witness to the injustices in the world, standing against them wherever we see them and in whatever way we can. Unfortunately, those within the Red Letters Network have seen firsthand that our society does not treat people who experience these same circumstances today with welcome and respect. Through this campaign, Red Letter Christians UK and its partners around the country are looking to highlight the stories of people with no recourse to public funds. People whose immigration status means that they are banned from accessing the public safety net. In England, this means they cannot receive certain treatment for free on the NHS, and many are refused treatment as a result. During the pandemic, this means that many people have avoided seeking medical treatment even when they're really ill, because they're scared that they will be charged. We know that at least 3 women and their unborn children have died as a result of the fear of this policy. When people are charged, they have 2 months to pay off their debts, sometimes in the region of thousands of pounds, before the Home Office investigates them. This process has led to people being deported, and it is part of the hostile environment. There are many amazing organisations, groups of NHS staff and migrant advocates pressuring the government to change this policy. We want to add our voice to theirs, whilst also taking radical steps to see how we can alleviate the pressure on individuals in the here and now. We believe in the biblical principle of Jubilee, where debts are written off, the land is laid to rest, and people celebrate all they have been blessed with. We want to raise funds to cancel the debts of destitute people with no recourse who have been charged for NHS care, so that they can be free from that burden. In Scotland, where NHS charges aren't common, we hope to release people from the debt of staying in accommodation whilst they await outcomes of certain decisions. At the very least, the worst that will happen is that the NHS receives some money. At the best, we want to highlight to the government that the UK should be a place of welcome and not discrimination. All the money raised will go towards the campaign, and in whatever way we can, either cancelling the debts with the NHS or working with individuals and organisations, it will be used to make a direct impact on people's lives. You can donate through our crowdfunder and read more about the campaign through this link. I want to thank our community for the work they have done to put this together, and also the support that has been shown for it all this year, both through the campaign and within their communities for the most vulnerable people in our society. I hope that this reflection has shed some light on this situation and also brought you something that you can get your teeth into as we begin a new year. I hope you'll join us in raising our voices against this injustice, and also you can get involved in the campaign in a lot of different ways by checking out our website and staying in touch. Thank you so much, and I really wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.